Hi, I'm Gail Schuler, and I'm 60% Catherine the Great and 50% King David.
Gail is a woman unlike any other.
At our Church of Gail, which has over 1 million members.
A woman of countless talents.
For years now, the people at the Academy Awards and the Nobel Prize Committee have tried to give me the Academy Award for the Best Picture Ever Made, the Nobel Prize in Medicine, the Nobel Prize in Literature. They've been unable to give me my prizes.
She has many loves.
I'm basically making these videos for my men. Brent Spiner, Matthew McConaughey, Hugh Jackman, Vladimir Putin, Gerard Butler.
And she has many enemies.
I've held back the richest and most powerful organization in the world, the Jesuit Order of the Roman Catholic Church.
What if everything you were ever told was a lie?
Jesuits use brain control technology. Jesuits do mail switch outs a lot on me. If I mail anything Jesuits don't like, they do switch outs using their agents inside the United States Postal Service. UFO aliens side with the satanic Jesuits. Jesuits really have been good at covering this up.
How can you be certain what is real and what is hidden?
The Jesuits are about to launch a nuclear bomb that has semen in it. It's going to be like Jesuit bukkake in a nuclear bomb, and it's headed towards Canada. And then kidnapped them and brought them to a Jesuit homosexual compound. They were forced to endure oral sex from 1,000 Jesuits. Gerard Butler, they made him dress as a little girl. But I have faith in God, and I know He can do anything. He even stopped time for me a couple weeks ago. And the Jesuits were furious because they don't want the world to know that Jesus Christ has been talking to me. I don't like the limelight. The only reason I'm going public is because Jesus wants me to, because I need to educate people about Jesuits so we can defeat them because they're evil.
Uncover the truth that they have been keeping from you.
The Jesuits are trying to isolate me from my support so they can destroy me, because I have the courage to try to stop them from taking over the United States. They're focusing on how crazy I am, using sensationalism to distract away from this. Maybe it is stupid, but I sure love to dream big dreams. The man who will be making this documentary is Thomas McGovern, he makes art and documentaries for a living. And this is obviously a work of passion for him, and he wants this to be a major production. Because this is his goal, he needs funds to do this. It costs money to make a movie or a documentary, and he's an independent producer. I wrote a release and gave him permission to use my website and my YouTube channel in his production because I never created those for money. He doesn't have to pay me anything. He's a member of our Church of Gail and doesn't want to take the money from the church he loves so much, which is our Church of Gail that Jesus himself visits regularly. I am supporting him in this project because what happens to me and my men affects more than just me and my men, and he's telling our story. We are the prime targets of the Jesuit order. That's because the Jesuits feel that we are their biggest obstacle to world power. For this reason, my life story is of monumental importance, because if the Jesuits knock me or my men out of their way, they will have free reign to rule over the earth, which has been their life ambition. Even Jesus told us this. Me, my men, and Church of Gail are the only things holding back the almighty Jesuit order, the most powerful and richest organization on earth. For this reason, Jesus himself meets with me and my men because, frankly, our outcome determines the outcome of mankind. The Jesuits are so powerful, they practically control all the press and internet. So for a production like this to go out into the mainstream media, it has to be independently funded. For instance, Steven Spielberg has done documentaries about me, but Jesuits have been able to keep these from the mainstream releases. Thomas McGovern's documentary, when finished, will be shown everywhere, and that's why it's different. You may say, how could they stop Steven Spielberg? I'm not sure how. But I do know that the Jesuits are so rich and powerful, they use a combination of brain control, legal sabotage, and death threats to control those who could harm their aspirations for world power. And it's pretty effective. You know, because Steven Spielberg's a household name, the Jesuits absolutely will not permit any of his productions about me to go mainstream. And he's done several productions about me. And he's made several movies based on my writings. Silver Skies is one of them. Jesuits have moved heaven and earth to prevent all of his productions about me or my writings from going mainstream. But this guy, Thomas McGovern's an unknown. So he can make an anti-Jesuit production and let it go mainstream and get away with it. That's because if Jesuits try to stop him, they will reveal how powerful they are. And they're trying to fool the world into thinking they suffer the poverty that afflicts so many right now. In fact, I believe that they have orchestrated the worldwide economic recession that we're all suffering from. They are so rich, they can manipulate the world's economies. So they will not obviously block Mr. McGovern because it would reveal to the world how powerful they are, which they're trying to conceal. They can get away with blocking Steven Spielberg because he's so famous. They could just say that I'm crazy and that they haven't blocked Spielberg, that Spielberg doesn't even know I exist. And then they use their brain control technology on the masses to make people believe I'm crazy for claiming this. It's easier to use brain control for lies that appear to be true. And Jesuits know how to lie effectively. They've had tons of experience. Look how they covered up their sponsorship of the Nazi Holocaust. Pretty good liars they are. Now, if they start blocking everybody who makes documentaries about me, their denials about their power and desire for world conquest will appear as the glaring lies. You know, it's going to show that they're big liars, that they're glaring liars, and they're worried about the truth getting out, so they're not going to block him. You know, he's an unknown and therefore should not be a threat to the Jesuit order if he wants to put out a ridiculous documentary full of lies, right? Steven Spielberg is respected, so if he puts something out, that'd be a problem for them. But if they're going to worry about this unknown Mr. McGovern, they're going to reveal their vast power, which they're trying to conceal. So they're not going to block this guy. It would hinder, not obviously. They would lose face in the public arena if they did it obviously. The good news is this unknown documentary maker may perhaps be the next Steven Spielberg. I think he deserves our financial support so that the world can see a much needed documentary. There is a link just below this video that if you click on it, it will show you how you can support him. I believe his motive for making this documentary is to honor Jesus Christ, who is always honored when lies are exposed and truth marches on. So you say, oh, well, they wouldn't want his to go out there either. They don't misunderstand me, they don't want his documentary to go out there. They don't like it whenever anything truthful that reports negative news about them gets out there. But if they blocked him and the world knew that, they're going to reveal how powerful they are and that they practically control the press. So my guess is if they do try to block him, it's not going to be using obvious methods like they would with Spielberg. That's one disadvantage of being famous. If you're famous and you're trying to cover an unknown and you're trying to expose an organization as powerful as the Jesuits, they can block you for the reasons I've already mentioned. But if they block every single producer out there who wants to say something negative about Jesuits, they're going to reveal to the world how powerful they are. So my guess is they're not going to do it. So fund this guy. He's an